Trevor's less than sober, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome.
Close.
Absolutely welcome yourselves to Unboxing Life After Dark right now. Hello?
I'm gonna beat your ass.
I mean, don't threaten me with a good time.
I could definitely see that. That fight goes dummy, freaking stupid dummy. Are you stupid or dumb? Or are you freaking dummy, bro?
I would pay good fucking money to have Bakugo's Japanese voice actor cuss me out.
Literally got homie blasting off again.
Yeah,
blasting off again. That's what I said, yo.
Wow. Like, I want to root for this guy more than I want to root for my goddamn self in my actual life. Like I...
Hey, beautiful people. Welcome to episode 42 of the Unboxing Life podcast. We are joined by none other than one Mr. All for Alex. Can you give yourself a round of applause? This man is the villain of the show.
The villain?
What do you mean?
Villain.
Hello?
The villain.
That's what it's called. All for one. That's the villain.
True.
That's the villain quirk.
Well,
spoilers if you have not seen My Hero Academia, but we are going to be talking about one particular show in general, in particular as well. I'm a little tipsy, but it's fine. But we are going to be talking about we are going to be talking about seasons 1 and 2 of My Hero Academia, and I'm also joined by Mr. Big Boy Bakugo.
Bah!
Oh,
edit an explosion in on the end of my face.
Yeah, you gotta do open palm, bro. Open palm.
Bah!
Yeah, there you go.
What's up, suckers? I excrete nitroglycerin. But not from where you'd expect.
Hey, yo. All right, we're going to move on. And we're also joined by not a real My Hero Academia fan.
I have accused my fellow podcast members in the past of not being real My Hero Academia fans, but once I learned that I had completely misheard and misread the name of one of the main characters in the show, I am the true, not a real My Hero Academia fan, if I can untie my tongue. If you didn't, you may have noticed if you're a loyal fan that my mic quality may sound a little worse than normal. Hopefully we'll have that fixed next week, but for now, this is what it is. So, unfortunate, but the reality. So hopefully I'll have it fixed soon. But
it's
love you all for
good.
tuning in.
We have started recording at 12:13 in the morning.
It is
so Unboxing Life After Dark, everybody.
Yeah, we are drinking. We are without quality mics, and we are going to dissect one of the greatest shows on earth right now.
Dang, brother.
So,
during dark.
Without further ado, I bring to you Masha. I'm sorry. So I would like to go first with my tradition. I made it abundantly clear that we're going to be discussing seasons 1 of 2 of My Hero Academia. So if you have not seen MHA or Boku No Hero Academia, please go watch the show and then come back. This is part 1 of our 3-part series that we're going to be doing on the show, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll do more episodes, maybe we'll do less episodes for longer shows, who knows, but this is like a little test drive for you guys, so buckle in and strap in. We got this. hopefully it's entertaining nonetheless. But I would like to go first in my traditions.
Real quick, send me last for my tradition.
Okay,
I should have said that pre-pro, but go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, so this is like the perfect quote right now because we just started recording. We were supposed to be recording 3 hours and 14 minutes ago, but it's fine. It is fine now. Why? Because I am here.
Oh, dang. Oh, you have a plushie?
Man,
is that a plushie? Or is that a big Funko Pop?
Funko.
Jesus Christ.
A giant Funko.
That's a Jesus
It's a
Christ.
giant.
So for audio listeners, Alex just literally snatched out of thin air his All Might. That's definitely a pop.
A All Might Funko that is maybe about 5 to 10 times the size of a normal one. I actually have never held one in my hand, so I can't
5
really
to 10 times.
But
That's like 2.5 times maybe.
2.5.
Close. It's 10 inches. It's 10 inches. Yeah.
Hey, yo.
Dang. Nice.
So yeah, my quote was from the God Almighty himself, Mr. All Might, the symbol of peace.
Mhm.
So
Nice.
I always thought that quote was really funny because he's like super self-centered in it. Like, it's fine because I am here and I'm gonna save your ass.
Yeah.
The
Dope.
entire point. It's the entire point. Yeah.
Dope, man.
Alex, hit us with your non-Mineta joke of the week.
All right. Oh my god.
It's a little inside
If
joke.
you know, you know.
Yeah, it's a little inside joke for the pod.
Well,
We're not gonna explain the joke.
Nope.
No.
So
Mm-mm.
go ahead, hit us with your joke, baby.
Why does the frog girl want to become a lawyer?
The frog girl?
Yeah, the frog girl.
Sue?
Are you talking about?
What?
So
you talking about Froppy?
So she can sue
Yeah,
whoever she
Froppy.
wants.
Because he wants to sue you.
Ah,
There
yes.
you go.
Yes.
He got it. Cameron got it.
Very good.
Yeah.
The frog girl.
That's definitely as close as I've come to a fucking joke of yours. So that's pretty good. I'll take that.
Pretty much
There you
get it.
go.
Nice. Nice, man.
The jokes
All right.
continue to be good. So well done, sir.
Nice,
Thank you.
man.
All right, Mr. Bakugo, I would like to hear your track of the week, brother.
Okay. You
Big
know what
boy
I'm going
Bakugo,
with.
brother.
Funnily enough, we mentioned this last week in one of our episodes. It is Holding Out for a Hero, 1984. Who the frick? I looked up who it was by again. Now I can't
Wait, is
remember.
Oh my God.
that the Shrek 2
Oh,
song?
Yeah, Bonnie Tyler. Yeah.
Let's go. That should sound good.
Yeah,
Yes.
Shrek
Fuck
2
yes.
song. I thought it was perfect. It's
I
a
need
show about heroes.
hero. I'm holding on for a hero to the end of the night. Whatever that is. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's a fucking bop and a half. That is one of the best cinematic sequences in Hollywood history. I love you, DreamWorks. I love you, Shrek. So there you go. Continue.
Fuck DreamWorks.
Why? Absolutely no reason for you to say fuck DreamWorks. Like literally,
They're like a
zero
50%
reason.
batting average.
All right, we're not going to do that now because we're talking about My Hero. But I'll beat your ass later.
Sips tea.
There you go.
All right, Cameron. I mean, not a real hero.
No, I was gonna. I don't think I let David finish.
Not a real hero.
No, I'm good.
Yo, why do you want to be a hero?
I took over.
All right, not a real hero.
Go for it, sucker.
Okay, all right. I guess I'm going
popular
for it.
with the ladies.
I cut off David. I wanted to let him have his turn back, but if he's done, he's done. You guys ever heard of the saying "plus ultra"?
No, I have not actually.
I have.
There it is, right on David's shirt. There it is.
You know what's funny about that shirt is that I now get it. Like I've seen One for All on that shirt like several times, and I finally get it. So. No, that's great. That's fucking awesome.
Plus ultra translates to English from Latin as further beyond, which if you watch the show, they say go further beyond plus ultra, and then they do dope shit. But yes, it is a Latin phrase and the national motto of Spain. It is taken from the personal motto of Charles V, who was Holy Roman Emperor and King of Spain in the 1500s. The phrase is a reversal of the original phrase non plus ultra, meaning nothing further beyond. This was said to have been inscribed as a warning on the Pillars of Hercules at the Strait of Gibraltar, which marked the edge of the known world in antiquity. Charles adopted the motto following the discovery of the New World by Columbus. Well, discovery. Not a big Columbus fan myself, but
neither am
I. The quote-unquote discovery of the New World by Columbus, and it also has metaphorical suggestions of taking risks and striving for excellence.
Dang,
so
that's
there you go.
dope.
Do you guys know where the Strait of Gibraltar is?
Watch Point Gibraltar.
It's between the south.
That map is trash.
Watch Point Gibraltar. That's a good Overwatch reference. It's the gap that leads from the Mediterranean Sea out into the Atlantic Ocean. That is between, I believe, the south of Spain and the north of Morocco. If I get that African country wrong, then forgive me, but I think it's Morocco. So it's a little gap. You can actually, if you're in the south of Spain or the north of Morocco, if I'm correct about those two countries, you can see the other from each coast. So it's pretty close together. So it's how you get from the Mediterranean to the Atlantic, and for everyone knew at that time, you go out in the Atlantic, that's the end of the fucking world. So, or well,
dang.
By then everyone knew the world was spherical basically, but it was just a big gap of unfathomable ocean to get to the other side. So anyway,
Dang.
plus ultra go
So-
beyond.
Yeah.
There you go.
I looked
That's
up the definition of discovery because I was a little triggered about the Columbus reference, and I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't like bugging out. So discovery is the act of detecting something new or something previously unrecognized as meaningful by Wikipedia.
Ah.
So how the fuck did he discover the new world when there were already people here?
Yeah, to be clear, people had been in the Americas for about 20,000 years, little less, maybe like 16,000 years before Columbus did anything. And the Vikings actually discovered like if you want to use the word discovered, went to North America way before Columbus did. They just didn't tell anyone about it. So
Happy Leif Erikson Day.
happy Leif Erikson Day.
Dinger, dinger, dinger.
There you go.
For all of our
Shout out.
SpongeBob fans out there. Good lord.
Uh,
Alright, so that's as long-winded as a fact as I give, basically. So there you go.
That's dope.
All right.
Lit,
So
man.
without further ado, we are going to jump into seasons 1 and 2 of My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
So again, spoilers, please
Yeah.
don't listen to us if you haven't watched the show. And if you haven't watched the show and you're like me, what the fuck are you doing? Just go watch it, please. It's great.
Yes, we're all sort of we've all seen it before except Trevor. We're sort of he's watching it now. It's Alex's. We did our freaking top 10 a minute ago. It was Alex's number 1. What the freak?
Pretty surprising. But
Not
Pretty
surprising.
not even.
Wow,
honestly.
not
Not
surprising.
even.
we
It
lit.
was,
No.
yeah,
We
it
lit
was,
either way.
it was Alex's number 1. It's in my top 10. After rewatching it, it's moved up in my top 10.
Dang.
So I won't say exactly where. I think I'll save that until we're done with season 4. Until we're like right about to be, season 5 coming out soon. That's why we're focusing on My Hero right now. Season 5 coming.
That's not
in
why.
March.
I wanted to watch this show forever, so
That's not entirely why, but that's why I'm excited about it. I guess is what I'll say.
Yeah.
So
Dope.
yeah, maybe I'll save that for then. And then David obviously loves the show, but excluded from his top 10, I believe, because it's still ongoing. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's just sort of my mental how I think it shows, but I'm mental, mate. But it was good.
So yes, I don't think anyone is gonna show up to this podcast right now and talk shit about My Hero Academia. We're all gonna have good impressions. So having all seen it before, the 3 of us, do we want to start with Trevor's impressions, coming as a relatively new anime fan and coming into the world of great shonen?
I'm not a relatively new. I'm gonna
Okay, go
end that right here. I'm not a relatively new anime fan no more. That was 10 months ago. I am deep in these streets. This is like my 13th or 14th show. We are out here. I ain't no casual fan no more.
That's what the word relatively means, but
Nah, no more.
you're not
No
you're not a new. I meant relative to us, but fuck it. I'll just leave that there. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm out in
just
these streets, man.
Pop off.
I'm wearing a
Okay.
goddamn
You know
Persona
what?
5 shirt.
You know
like
what,
if I don't
Trevor?
get my credit right now, I swear to God.
You know what, Trevor?
That's
You
not
know
even
what?
an anime.
You know what, Trevor?
What are you talking about? It has its own anime and manga.
It actually.
It's a
it actually
video
does.
game.
It actually does
It's
have.
based off
Dang.
the video
It
game.
has. It kind of.
Motherfucker.
It kind of has like all areas of entertainment covered. So it's
It's like the most popular Japanese RPG of all time, but that's beside the fucking point. What we're talking about is My Hero, and this show is great. Let's just get that out of the way.
All right.
So
That's-
my
that's-
first,
Okay, go
my fir-
ahead. That's what I was trying to get
Yeah.
to. Is your first impression? So just go ahead. We're gonna leave it.
so my first impressions of the show. I think I texted David this. This is like a modern Naruto, like in almost all areas of it. Like if David, you're currently watching Naruto, right?
Mhm.
I don't know how far you are, but it's
Mhm.
like I drew so many like connections and comparisons to the 2 shows, and it's for the better. Like it cuts out all of the filler. All the fights are lean. They don't take too much of your time. The characters are incredibly lovable. The themes are great, but the plot of the show is very simplistic, and that kind of services the show in a better way. I think it would actually be a worse show if the plot was more convoluted than it already is, because it's not. I said that wrong, but if it was more complicated than it is right now, then it would be a worse show. But it allows the characters to shine, and it gives you like so much room to love them because they just get all the shine. Like it's a character driven show. It's not really a plot show.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably my only complaint, really. The show is fantastic. There was so many points where like I was so overwhelmed with joy just watching it that I like wanted to cry. Like, and it like I don't know.
Let's go.
I don't know why this show is doing that to me, but there were so many times, like especially during the tournament arc, where I was just so overcome with happiness just watching their interactions that I was just like, bro, I'm about to like burst into tears because I was like so happy. This shit was so great.
Yes, So here's in the last episode, I talked about how I did my second rewatch, or not my second rewatch, my first rewatch, so my second watch through, very recently, and then we were like, okay, we're gonna cover My Hero on the podcast. So I was like, okay, I'll watch it again to remind myself of everything. And so I watched it. in. We're gonna get to sub versus dub pretty quickly. Don't hop on that train yet. But I watched it in sub both times. David is a big dub fan, to my knowledge. So I watched the first 2 seasons in dub this time, since I'm not a complete psychopath and I value my time. I did skim through a lot of the shit that I knew was like, that I already knew what happened or whatever, and then just watch the fights. But the main point being that yes, abso-fucking-lutely, I literally get so giddy and like filled with joy, like watching the fights and watching the kids succeed and watching like especially like just any big fight, any final punch, any like big move, any like they're like, I'm doing this because I can, like all that shit. I just like, yes, fucking achieve your dreams, motherfucker, let's go. I get so giddy and happy, and I like start tearing up. I'm like so happy for everything going on. It's such a wonderful show in that respect, where it's just like you're just never gonna have a bad time. And like Trevor said, it's like there's no lack of pacing. Like the pacing is immaculate. It's just fucking like there's always something happening. Like every time it's slow, they're just developing characters. They're just having fun. There's like cool interactions. There's like you're learning stuff. Like every time there's not a fight, it's still worth watching. So it's like you just don't get bored basically ever, like at all. And like you said with the Naruto comparison is like what drove me insane, what we all agree on, which you said gets better later on, but I haven't gotten through that part, is like how they'll spend 10 episodes on one fight, where they do one move and then explain it for 10 minutes, and then one more move and then 10 more minutes, and then the episode's over. That's like max in My Hero. The teachers will like spend 15 seconds talking about what he just did, and then like another move is being
which is still irritating.
Another power
is being it's still incredibly irritating, because it's like, fam, I'm watching it. I see what happens. You don't have to say that he like dissolved in this point and then came back over here and punched the shit out of you. Like, oh, he was so quick that he diverted his attack. And I was like, bruh, shut the fuck up. I'm watching right now.
That's fair sometimes, but it's also worth other times, I think. I'd be curious to hear what Alex and David think about that point, or whatever else I brought it, or both of us brought up. Whichever one of you want to go first, if you want to do rock, paper, scissors or some bullshit, I don't know.
Dang. I don't know. Yeah. No, I just agree with everything you guys said. It was like when we were talking about it. No, I just agree, sorry.
Agree.
Like, bro, what?
I was like, disagree. I was like, what did I say?
I hate this show now.
I hate it. It's trash.
Freaking.
Damn.
Yeah, when we were talking about it in the top 10, I was like, yeah, every episode is a joy to watch. Like, the characters are just, I knew
almost every.
Yeah, sure, I guess so. But when Trevor started watching anime, I was like, he's gonna love My Hero. It's like, there's no doubt that like, because it's so character focused, it's so fun. Like you said, all the interactions. Yeah, I'm watching Naruto right now, and it's so you forget how anime used to be. Like this is. Like you said, a modern Naruto, it's like it is the like big shonen, like, okay, this is gonna be very shonen freaking battle, but it's gonna sort of just do it well and be its own thing in that way. But it is so much better paced than Naruto. Like they will just rehash stuff you've already seen like 5 times in a row on Naruto. It's
the funny part about that is that like the biggest comparison that you can draw between the two shows is that they both do throwbacks in terms of like older episodes and like quoting certain scenes. So in Naruto, you'll see the same scene like 15 times for no reason. And in My Hero, they do the same thing, but it's like a third of the time. And it actually means something to what's happening right now. It's like they're not just showing Sasuke crying in a corner. Half the episode. They're not just doing that for shits and giggles. It's like maybe 20-second cuts of, All Might being motivational or whatever. But
it's how you do it. A lot of the shonen series is use the freaking flashback mechanic, but like Naruto is just like you're watching a fight and it's like, remember when we were kids? And it's like, all right, brother, this is, and most of the fight is like a flashback. So it's just, it is what it is. I think the explanation thing is a big question in shonen, but I think I definitely want it sometimes. Not like sometimes what happens and sometimes you don't. Like they have to explain and make sure the rules make sense of like how their abilities work and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I get that. Yeah,
it's fair in certain circumstances for sure. I'm not gonna shit on every time they explain it because sometimes it's like what did happen, But for the most part, if you're kind of paying attention and you suspend your reality and you don't necessarily root it in your reality, you don't really need the explanations. You can kind of just go with the flow. It's all fiction. It's just fantasy land. Just kind of, it doesn't really necessarily need to make sense 100% of the time. But that's
I feel differently about that because I feel like that's part of
like it's a case by case basis. Like it certainly depends on what's happening on screen.
Yeah.
I agree with that in the fact that it's like it's case by case. So like if they do it, it's like it's worth in some cases and not in others. Then it's basically worth to do it for every one. And then the ones that it's actually like useless, basically, you just ignore it and you're like, okay, well that burned 15 seconds, but now I'm back to the fight. And the times that it is worth, you're like, okay, that was interesting, and now I'm back to the fight. So it's like I think it's risk is like the word I want to use, but it's like I guess it's a risk worth taking for the animators and for the storytellers that are doing it.
And it's like I said, like My Hero does it right, and like even if you have to have it, it's only like 15 seconds of your time max. Like
max.
It's
not
not
5. If not 5,
it's not
or
a
like less than 10.
It's not a diatribe of a 60-second rant of, okay, I threw this shuriken right here, but I also attached a substitution jutsu tag on it, and I was like, oh, then I went through 7 dimensions, and now I'm fucking gonna rate like come on, bro, come on.
Yeah.
All of that being said, we have yet to hear from the biggest My Hero fan in the podcast. Alex, a lot has been said. You've been absorbing quite a bit. How do you feel about all our comments? How do you feel about the show in general? Give us whatever you want to give us right now.
All right, yeah.
Pause.
I'm gonna just say, as everybody has been saying, my biggest appeal is all the characters. There's so many characters where I'm watching them. I'm saying to myself, this character is such a beast. Heroes and villains alike. There's too many beasts in the show. You cannot mess with my main man, All Might. You can't mess.
Absolutely fucking not.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, you got villains like Stain, where it's just like, damn, he's kind of hard. Like,
he kind of hard.
He kind of hard. Like, I see him.
Mm-hmm.
You got the teachers, Aizawa. He's a beast too. It's like, all right,
Aizawa's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You can do what you gotta do, man. I see you, and then
we'll definitely be hitting some.
He's kind of mysterious right now at this point in the time, but Shigaraki, he's holding on to something too.
Hey yo,
it certainly is.
Yeah.
And I said this off air, but I'm not the biggest fan of him currently. He hasn't done a whole lot necessarily. He hasn't shown his quirk off too much. His quirk being able to, completely disseminate something like just like, hey yo, I'm gonna grab you, and then you're just gonna turn into dust.
Decay.
Shigaraki, the villain, his quirk being decay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think at this point he only used it on Aizawa when they were breaking into the school, and he used it on his arm, right?
On his elbow, yeah.
His elbow, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I think
but
well, I'm not gonna say I think and then spoil. So okay.
Yeah, no, I'm cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. So I had a profound point that I wanted to make, and I completely forgot about it because I'm tipsy and it sucks ass.
About the characters. Yeah.
Shigaraki Lamau. So I guess we can just go into plot. I guess I don't know.
Plot. Do we
Just
want to do
sort of-
plot first, or do we want to do sub versus dub first? Because sub versus dub has to happen.
For God's sake, does it have to happen?
It
We can
has
just
to
go.
happen.
I mean, okay. So all right.
certainly
So
has
there
to
was an
happen.
Hold it,
issue
Ron. Trick off.
when I was watching the
No.
show. I was watching up to episode I think 11 is when the issue hit. So on Funimation, which I currently pay for because I forgot to cancel the goddamn subscription.
Yeah.
Did you cancel it?
No, not yet. Because
my
like
God.
there's a lot of shows on there and I'm finally making money, so it's like fuck it.
Yeah,
I'm rich. I'm rich now.
I'm rich, bitch.
But so an issue happened at episode 11 where I'm watching in Japanese, right? And instead of showing subtitles in Japanese, it starts showing the subtitles in Spanish.
Oh,
And there's no option for Spanish subtitles in Funimation currently on My Hero Academia.
Wait.
There is no
what the heck?
subtitles for Spanish. There's no option to switch it to Spanish subtitles. However, it was showing in Spanish. So I was like, bruh, let's reload the app, right? So
Are you sure it wasn't
reloaded
Portuguese?
Yeah, we reloaded 7 times.
Jesus.
It didn't happen. So we went to dub and I watched the USJ fights in dub for like 2 episodes and I was pissed. You know why? Because the fucking characters in dub are so flat compared to Japanese. It's not even close. Like they are so indistinguishable compared to Japanese. I don't understand how y'all even wanted to watch that in English.
Dang.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to attack y'all. I was just like genuinely upset that I had to watch those 2 episodes in English. This is totally me just bashing English and not bashing you guys for liking it.
That's fine, but
Before we hear from the other side of the court, I want to speak up on the same side. In that sub is better than dub, and it's not remotely close.
Not even at all.
I think there's maybe Midori is okay. The principal is actually pretty 1-to-1, honestly. Sub and dub, he sounds basically the same.
The principal has 4 lines. It doesn't matter.
I mean, he talks more later on, and he has the one episode where he's fighting against whoever.
He's
in that
he's
final
one
exam.
of the proctors.
But that's what I mean is like that's one of the one. But like, it's just not close.
It's not even
man.
close. They're so animated in Japanese.
I'll go on further about it, but like, they somehow made Mineta worse. They gave him a speech impediment for no reason.
Dude, in Japanese, he's actually like he's doable. Like pause. Like he's totally fine in Japanese. I had no problem with him at all, and I actually laughed at some of his lines. In
that's
English,
how you know you're getting a booty
in English,
opinion.
dude, he is.
Mineta could never ever be good in any language. That's
Bro,
just
he has
sub then.
He has a couple of redeemable moments. Like 90% of his character and anything he's interacted with is useless to me. But like he has a couple of redeemable moments, and like especially when he's fighting against Midnight and whatever, and he does the Great Brush, and it's like okay, he's actually maybe useful if he like does.
And
anything.
that was awful because I want him to die. I don't want him to be useful. Like don't make him a hero. Like please. Like that was awful too.
So so the reason
let me finish before we get there. He has redeemable moments, but like I did not like him in Japanese. I thought he was useless. We had this conversation about how like he's obnoxious as fuck, and you even said, I think I even cut it into an intro where you were like, yeah, they just took all the negative aspects of a show and jammed it into one character, and I agreed with you in Japanese, and then they somehow made him worse in English, and I was like, how the frick? So it was just that's like maybe like 1/90th of what I have to say about that, but go ahead. You were ready to say something and I stopped you, so go ahead.
Who?
David.
I'm gonna say fucking.
Go ahead.
I didn't personally because I know Rocio hates this goddamn character like all day, up and down. Fucking god, I didn't mind him at all.
Everyone hates him, bro.
I didn't mind him in the slightest. I don't understand the overwhelming hate. I totally get that like he's not the best character, but there's also 40 other characters, so it's like it's whatever. But I didn't find him repulsive. But in English, he's indisputably the worst character of all time.
I'll say.
Oh yeah.
I'll
In
say.
Japanese, he's fine.
I'll say that I clapped when he was trying to peep through into the girls' locker room and Jiro stabs him in the eye with her.
That was
earphone jack.
hilarious. Because she's pissed off because he doesn't mention her. That was so fucking funny.
That's funny in and of itself, I guess. Yeah, I'll give you that. But it's like I don't know. He's such a like they overload the perviness so hard, and we're spending way too much time on the worst character in the show, honestly.
Yeah. I'll just say
that's what we bring you at the Unboxing Live podcast. We bring you Vendetta breakdown. And I'm not here to defend him. I just don't see the complete hatred of that character.
I think maybe this is not like, you know, a weird like gatekeeping thing, but when you watch a certain amount of shonen, there's like this, you know, pervy character. And
I know the trope.
Of course you know, but like if you've seen it so many times and like some of them have redeemable qualities, and then you get to a modern shonen that's like, okay, we're coming out now. We know everything that's happened in the past. We're gonna make something new, and he is like the worst pervy character in history.
Yeah.
Like,
have you seen him? Have you listened to him in Japanese though?
No, but the way he's written.
That's what I'm saying. That's the line I'm drawing right there. Is like he's fine in Japanese. I think he's. Yes, he is. He absolutely.
I know his voice acting in English is awful and abhorrent and annoying, but like just the way he's written and the things they give him is so stereotypical, and like it ruined. Like every time he's on screen, I don't like the show, and then once they go off of him, I like the show again. He's one of the worst characters I've ever seen in fiction.
I think we know how we.
I can't defend that.
I think we know how we all feel about Mineta, and I think we should move on to characters that are actually worth talking about.
Like Ochako, my name, Ochako-chan, the most adorable character. God, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna fucking say it. She's more adorable than Nezuko, and it's gonna hurt me in my soul to say that, but she is. It really hurts. It fucking hurts, but she is so goddamn rock solid as a character, man. And I ship.
Wow.
I literally ship.
Oh man.
I ship Ochako.
I think that's my hardest anime ship actually. Is Midoriya and Uraraka. I think
because it's stereotypical and it's traditional for the main protagonist to have a love interest, especially one that's close to them, and I think they grew up together. But
they didn't.
Okay, well, whatever. I think they've known each other for a while.
No, they meet like at the school. They meet at
school,
UA.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
Yeah.
Then,
sorry, but go ahead. Hello?
I'm gonna beat your ass.
I mean, don't threaten me with a good time.
I'm gonna play that Panic song. So they like it's stereotypical for the protagonist in these kinds of shows to have a love interest, and it's kind of like most of the time it's like, it's really like drawn out and kind of forced. But this one is just so adorable and innocent and
so
cute, and it's like. It just has to happen, man. Like she's trying to like convince herself that she doesn't love him in like the second season. It's like the cutest fucking thing on earth, man.
Mm-hmm. Has to happen.
Yeah, so we can jump right in the plot discussion with that, I think, because the parallelism with them too. They set up their relationship pretty immediately. I mean, we can. If we want to, the first 3 episodes, I think 3 or 4 is just Midoriya. Not having a quirk, being bullied by Bakugo at middle school, and then reacting to the sludge villain, and then All Might shows up, and then All Might's like, "Here's the quirk," and then you go from there.
Can we talk about how like tough it is to learn at the age of 4 that all men are not created equal? When Izuku doesn't get his fucking quirk, and everyone around him is like exploding right next to him, and he's just like.
It's got to be depressing as fuck, dude. It's got to be depressing as fuck. Like
I'm part of the 20% that doesn't have a quirk right now.
Yeah, dude. To be in the like small minority of people that don't have a literal superpower must be depressing as fuck in that reality.
But
which makes him the perfect protagonist. Basically.
Exactly. Yeah. It just makes you root for him more because there's something to like. He has something to learn. He's not given God-given strength. Like he has to actually train and He
Which is
quite
the same as
literally
All Might.
mutilates himself. He mutilates himself to get to where he's at in season 2, and he's still not at where he should be. Like,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah, I mean,
he's one of the more better written shonen protagonists,
Yeah,
in my honest opinion.
he's still freaking 16, so he is like years away from being able to be at the peak of his physical prowess. So it's like he like no matter how hard he trains, he can't contain all for one. So it's like, or one for all. And so that's a whole thing. But yeah, dude. I mean, what I was gonna say was like, you know, you get into it, and then with Ochako and Midoriya, the parallelism being that she saves him, like saves, quote unquote, when he's walking in first, and he's like, "This is my first day, I'm ready," and he like trips on his shoelaces and about to fall on his fucking face, and Ochako just like taps him on the back and it's like, "Hey, I thought you were about to fall, so I stopped you," and it's like so
and
adorable.
then he saves her in the
adorable.
entrance exam,
and then he saves her. So that, oh man, that's the first time I tear up. That's the first time I get giddy as fuck, is when he just fucking launches himself and absolutely deletes the biggest robot on the planet. And it's and like the clench your butt cheeks thing is so fucking funny to me, man. When it's like when he's like hearing All Might's advice in his head, and he's like, clench your butt cheeks and say smash, and he punches the thing in the face. And he's got this he's got this dumb look on his face with both legs broken and his arm broken, but he just saved the life of a girl in front of him. And so
that shit. That mechanic is disgusting. I hate that mechanic. Like I love that mechanic. Like, no, obviously, like the idea of it is great, like mutilating himself. But like when you see it, it's gross to me because he's literally noodles. Like if you're a Harry Potter fan in Chamber of Secrets, he loses all the bones in his arm in a Quidditch match because fucking Lockhart is a dickhead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like just seeing that in action where he's just a fucking angel hair pasta cooked al dente style is awful.
Not even al dente. Yeah. Al dente isn't al dente like the harder version? He's fucking loose ass noodles when he's falling.
Yeah.
He's
overcooked.
He's just like, yeah, man. It's so fucking good when you're like, okay, this is episode 5 and our protagonist is falling to his fucking death, and then he's like, I can unleash a smash. I'll do it like All Might does, and he's got like 3 out of 4 limbs broken, and he's like about to do it, and then Ochako just smacks the fuck out of him, and like as he falls, and just falling. Like literally, it's just a slap across the face that she gives him, and it's so clean, and he's just like, "You saved my ass," and then oh man, yeah. So that's like literally within the first 5 episodes, their relationship is super set up upon like saving each other. And having that sort of like chaotic attraction almost, and so it's super cool to see them interact with each other and be super cute together and all that. It's great. I love it.
Can we talk about Bakugo's perspective though? Imagine this punk kid that has no quirk. Yeah. Definitely has got no quirk. You know him his whole life. He ain't nothing. He ain't shit. But he's coming up in your school, your entrance exam, and then all of a sudden this man leaps and this smashes this robot, and you're like, "What the hell? Where did this dude come from with that?"
Yeah.
How are you feeling about it?
So neither of you have watched the show in sub, correct?
I've seen bits and pieces, but not like all of it. No.
Have you heard Bakugo in sub?
No, just from clips. I mean,
because I'm about to go on a limb and say he's probably the best voice acting I think I've ever heard in my entire life.
Absolutely.
He's got the most over the top animated voice actor I've ever heard, and it's like I hate his character, like just like the stubborn and pride filled like adrenaline bullshit that he has going for him is really frustrating to like watch. I'm not gonna call on you. I'm still ranting. No, but his over the top like I hate Deku for no reason at all. I don't know if there's any backstory. They haven't brought that on yet in the show, but his voice actor makes it all worth it, man. He is such a fucking prick in the show, but it's so entertaining, man. You have to watch the shit in sub, man.
You know how people, Aaron Paul, the guy from Breaking Bad, who like says
Yeah.
bitch like really really like solidly. That's his whole thing. And
Mhm.
people will meet Aaron Paul and be like, "Yo, call me bitch, call me bitch." I would pay good fucking money to have Bakugo's Japanese voice actor cuss me out. Like literally. Like I
Or
would
just
I
tell
would,
me to die,
they're
like you
telling
scum.
Shine! Yeah, like oh my god, like him screaming Shine, like it comes from his fucking chest. Like you feel the hatred in his fucking performance. It's so his voice actor in Japanese is so
There's not
goddamn
too
good.
many lines. There's not too many lines where he isn't screaming at the top of his lungs.
Like literally,
it's incredible.
It's so effectual. It's like you you feel it in your fucking soul. His hatred, his determination, his like, and especially when they're. I mean, this is like getting towards the very end of what we're the plot we're covering, but like his and Midoriya's fight against All Might,
Oh my!
and he's fucking he's like they end up working together more or less, and he's like still screaming at him, like still like cussing him out, like go win. Like he's calling him a bastard, he's calling him an like asshole, whatever he's saying, and like he's like go win, like still, like he never stops screaming, he never stops cussing people out. He's it's like the level of intensity and like and then going back a little bit, the fucking the sports fest. That's the name of the Olympics at Miami. The sports festival. When he's cussing out Todoroki, when he's cussing out like everyone when he at the end of the tournament, it's such a phenomenal fucking performance. And I told Trevor yesterday that his voice actor is going to be the voice actor for one of the characters in the next season of Demon Slayer, which I'm so fucking hyped for.
Dang, okay.
So it's I honestly recommend, like, if you watch this show, please watch it in sub, because it's just honestly, in my opinion, it's not close. It's just like the voices, like Trevor said, are so distinguishable. They're so animated. They're so perfect, honestly, for every character. They just comparatively they just seem so lackluster in English. And that
Hard agree.
Call it bias, call it whatever you want, but that's like as strong. That's like as strongly as I feel about a show. Like I've watched several shows in both, and this is the show that I feel like it's the biggest gap between performances.
And let it be known that I used to like default to watching shows in English, but then I don't know why this show like particularly stood out for me to watch in Japanese, but I'm like, I've never heard anyone talk about this show in dub until I met you guys talking about this. So I just like immediately gravitated towards dub or sub because I was like, this is the way to experience the show. And then I had to be subjected to the dub in those couple episodes, and I'm like, ew, yeah, like, can I go back?
Yeah.
But I feel like Cameron and I have been talking far too long.
Yeah, for a while.
Please, by all means, please.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think freaking the characters are like what you're talking about with Deku, of him, like the mechanic of him having to break his arms and stuff. I feel like the writer, like the mangaka for this manga, is such a smart, like shonen, like just like he knew he was gonna make this freaking nice freaking modern shonen, because that mechanic is so smart, because Deku was like, he has to think, like he's only smart and then he finally gets power.
Yeah, we should definitely
plays off that perfectly.
We should definitely go into the different instances of that once you're done, because he's so fucking creative with like all that and so smart. So yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
It plays off so well. It pays off so well, because he starts out like he just like eventually he gets to like breaking his fingers, and then he like breaks them twice, and it's like
when he's fighting Todoroki.
God. Yeah. That I don't even know. Like
that fight was painful nuts, because he's sitting there flicking off his lifeline, and he's just like, yo, and he breaks off all his fingers, and then he breaks it again, and I'm just like, bro, chill. And then he breaks it a third time, and I'm just like, yo, chill out.
Yeah, I wanted. I mean, we're there, I guess. I wanted David to finish his point before we got there, but the fact that he breaks his finger again, like it's basically just fucking shards in his fucking finger at this point of bone, and then he like his thumb is the least broken thing, and he uses the fucking corner of his mouth to fucking like all like one for all to fucking flick that shit and destroy the ice. And it's man, we need to talk about that fight just in and of itself. So I want to leave that there and let you finish your point, because all the like not all, but like most of the fights, especially Bakugo versus Uraraka and Midoriya versus Todoroki in season 2, are some of the most like groundbreaking, insane fights in a shonen that I've seen. So it's just so fucking cool based on what they mean, like just the animation as well as what the fights mean for the show and for the characters, because they do so much fucking effort into developing the characters and making sure they all have their own singular motivations and importance and everything. And I've talked far too long to just throw it back to you, and I'm really sorry.
No, I mean it's all part of it. I mean we don't have to go through it like linearly.
No, we don't.
A good thing.
There's too much that happens for us to go through it linearly.
I
mean not linearly, but I want to discuss it in like one chunk where all four of us are on one page, as opposed to debating each other like sub versus dub, like Trevor and I have been. So sorry.
Yeah, no, we're good on that, but just I mean that's the thing about it is, it's just focus on characters, so we can just focus on the characters. Like I think Bakugo, that like the fact that he's so that he yells so much is a little annoying to me, but he's still one of my favorite characters in the show, and he like, god dang that.
Let me just tell you, you wouldn't feel that way in sub, but that's all I'm gonna say.
I'm saying he's still like one of my favorite characters in the show. Like he might be my favorite character. Like I think his dub performance is amazing. I personally think the dub is amazing. Chris Sabat is like a voice acting god. He plays All Might.
I overstepped actually, because I meant to qualify my statement about the sub versus the dub. So my statement about the sub versus dub was that the dub is the sub is better than the dub, and it's not close, is my like final take. But the dub is still pretty good. Like it's still very solid. Like I could like if I was experiencing.
I cannot believe we are still talking about sub versus dub.
I know, but I just wanted that to be on the table. Is that like I still like if I was just watching the show, I would still enjoy the show very much in English. I just don't think it's comparable. But sorry,
that's fine. I mean, I might check out the sub after this, but I love the dub personally. It gets me fired up every time. I think Chris Sabat is a perfect voice actor for All Might, but regardless of that, freaking he's incredible. Regardless of that, freaking I don't know, freaking I don't know where to go from here, but
I don't know. I will say, All Might is one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Is the number one hero the undefeatable symbol of peace? Is that one of the greatest of all time? You think that's a hot take, Alex? That's crazy.
I'm just saying. Out of all the anime,
it's worth saying though. I'm roasting you. Out
of all anime, I'm not going that far.
I love him so much.
I think he's absolutely a very lovable character, but I think you're overstretching that.
He's crazy.
All Might is one of my favorite superheroes in general. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I think I'm on the side of Alex and David on that one. He's so fucking good.
And Rocio feels the same way. Like she adores him. I think he's fantastic. Like, but I'm not going that far. But.
Oh, but he's fighting the Nomu, and he knows he doesn't got.
Okay. So that Nomu fight, I have it in my notes saying that was one of the most hype moments I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yes,
when he was just like, "Hey, yo, go beyond plus ultra," and then he just fucking
bro, he's so
that motherfucker out of there, brother.
God. So if we want
he is the perfect character for a show like this. So let's talk about it. He's the strongest dude you could ever freaking have, but he has a fatal freaking flaw that no one knows about. He's freaking dying slow with freaking weakness.
Some people know about it.
Yeah, some people know about.
All right, relax, Trev.
But for a freaking shonen,
I'm telling the truth. Am I not?
You're telling the truth.
Okay. Anyway.
It's semantics.
Yeah. But
it's not semantics.
No. I'm making. It's my fault for making. It's my fault for making more of a thing about it than it should have been. So go ahead, David. I'm sorry.
Okay. Who gives a frick?
Exactly.
If you're writing a shonen, it's great to have those characters that are just like unreachably powerful, especially like early on. Like you don't even know what their power level is. And so when like every freaking student is in jeopardy at the end of season 1 and freaking Shigaraki shows up with a Nomu and you're like, about to kill y'all motherfuckers. Like he just bodies Aizawa and stuff. You're like, dang, you know for a fact All Might is showing up as soon as he does.
God, and he's in a fucking suit and like he's not in a suit. He's not in a suit and tie. He's in like he's in the dress shirt. Yeah, with the tie. And I'm just like, yo, I would fuck this man right now. Like, I would let him pummel my ass right now. I ain't gonna lie on y'all ass.
His tailor balls the fuck out. Who makes clothes that can expand to that degree without tearing? Like, good God.
I know, right?
Clothes. Yeah, bro.
Don't do that.
Who makes clothes is Alright. Trevor's less than sober, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome.
Clothes.
Absolutely welcome yourselves to Unboxing Life After Dark right now.
I gotta piss so bad, so I'm gonna flag this. I'm gonna go piss.
Goodness, I'm leaving that in the show.
I guess I will too.
Might as well, fuck it.
Welcome back to the Unboxing Life podcast after our piss break and whatever the fuck y'all were doing.
All right.
So we were busy coming over All Might absolutely killing the Nomu in season 1.
When he shows up, All Might is like a symbol of peace to freaking the real life audience, I feel like, because you know when he shows up it's gonna be alright. He just freaking says, "Alright, bro, I got this handled." When he freaking
he's incredibly overpowered.
I think that's the coolest thing to me actually, is that you don't know. Is that I mean, that's I hesitate to call it dramatic irony because that's not exactly what dramatic irony is, but the idea that you know you're in the in group, right? You're one of the like 6 or 7 people that know that All Might is fucked. Like All Might is everyone else in Class 1A is thinking All Might is overpowered, he's superpowered, like there's no way he loses this fight. And then you have that whole internal monologue of like, I got nothing left in me. Like I got jack shit. Like I gotta push beyond, and that's what makes the fight. That's what makes the fight so fucking cool. Is that he's got nothing left in the tank, and he still pushes on. He still does what he needs to do to protect his fucking class and to protect the people around him. And the moment, oh man, we talked about tearing up and getting giddy. The moment when he does his monologue and he's the whole thing about like Midoriya, I think Midoriya narrates it where he's like, every punch he lands has meaning, like everything. He's like, oh, so your quirk is shock absorption, so that means there's a limit, and he just beats the fucking shit out of the Nomu. And he's like, every punch he lands is what Midoriya narrates, is that every punch he lands has an effect. Everything, like there's no wasted movement, which is a whole like Japanese sword technique thing and everything. And so it's like he's just being perfect as much as he can in this fight, and he's still on his last legs. And the moment where he's like, and you gotta go beyond plus ultra, and he fucking yells it, and he uppercuts the Nomu, and he sends him through the fucking ceiling into orbit. I'm like, a tear rolls down my face, dude. I'm so goddamn hype. I'm like, yes, oh my, you're the best alive. You're the best to ever fucking do it, bro. Like, you're the god.
You literally got homie blasting off again.
Yeah, blasting off.
That's what I said. Yo,
I just had
dude,
the ceiling,
I was like,
bro.
Yo, Team Rocket blasting off again, and Rocio was like, yo, wear me out that. Like,
it's literally it literally does the same star bullshit in the sky. I'm pretty sure. Oh my god.
I don't think it does the star thing, but no.
Does it not?
I
don't know.
No, the metaphor is there regardless.
It might as fucking well.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Superman doesn't have a moment like that. Get the frick out of here.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, my spirit is Superman.
I'm not going that far, but
frick Superman.
Frick Superman. It's about All Might. Sucker.
I'll take All Might. I'll take All Might over Superman, honestly.
Yeah, stay mad. Stay mad, DC fans. I don't give a frick.
All Might has better hair.
DC fans. Yo.
Yikes.
Perfect end of season 1.
Perfect.
Frick yeah. We get into season 2 tournament arc.
This tournament arc was actually really entertaining. Obviously,
actually,
and the reason I say that is because the only other tournament arc that I've currently seen is from Naruto, and it's incredibly drawn out for no reason.
I just got through that one. Yep.
Oh my god, man.
Yeah.
It's ass. Like, there's only 2 fights that are worth the goddamn, and like every fight in this one, every fight. You haven't seen have you seen the tuning exams?
Well, let's not spoil it for people.
Yes and no. I was gonna say you're saying that in Naruto there's only 2 fights that were worth the damn. Not My Hero, because My Hero is. Go ahead.
This one, most of them are pretty entertaining, even when they're like super quick and they're just like kind of getting through and going through the motions. Like, He's going through he's like fighting the vine lady, the poison ivy, and what's his name, Kamimari, something like that, the electricity dude.
Kaminari.
Denki
That
Kaminari.
Denki Kaminari.
yeah, that was like a 20-second fight, and
Mhm.
it was still entertaining.
Yeah, but I will say the great thing about this show is that when you have an off to the side like little fight, it lasts 20 seconds. It doesn't last the whole episode like
Yeah.
freaking Naruto. Please kill me. I'm so glad I got past that part.
Yeah, for
But
yeah,
It's
go
not
ahead.
gonna end. I'll tell you that much.
bro.
Good lord.
But
That's tough.
I will say one of the lesser whatever, like lower tier fights is the dude who has like the mind control power.
Yeah,
Hitoshi
that was
Shinso?
not good. That was not good.
Oh no,
That-
I think
What do you
his
mean not
character is
good?
really interesting. I think they
But
did
that fight was.
What do you
I mean the
That
fight
shit
is like
was so cool.
yeah, it's like
What was cool
outsmarting.
about it?
It's not gonna be like big
That-
action time. It's like outsmarting him. That's the thing.
That the
That's
previous
fine.
Yeah,
But that
'cause
quirk is ass.
It is, but the whole
Like the
mystery is
second
that
you
you don't know what it
understand
is.
the
What?
counterplay to it, it's like, yo, you're gonna get decimated. Like, what are you
But-
talking about?
it's
Yeah,
very,
but
I'm never
it's
talking
very,
to you again, and I'm beating the shit out of you. Like, that's it. That's game over.
It's very similar to Eraserhead, in which
No,
like,
it's not.
he so as a pro hero, Eraserhead stays out of the media and shit, so people don't know what he does. Like Midori is a super fan, so he knows what
That's
Midori
fine,
does.
but you can get like
Or he
you
knows
can
what- Yeah,
basically
whoa, whoa, whoa,
understand
whoa.
the quirk
Whoa, whoa.
pretty quickly.
His quirk
You
is
can
like
understand it
Eraserhead
pretty quickly.
rolling the dice. Homie's
I-
like throwing the dice every time if they fall for it or not. Eraserhead literally stares at somebody and they're done for.
And he's done.
Homie
And
you know,
he's
I
literally
got
mean,
the
asked a
fucking
question.
heat that comes
Okay.
around and like completely deters
relax.
everything. Like,
relax.
Homie asked a
Relax.
question and you if you get it answered then it works. If not, you're done for.
Here's the
Villains like-
yeah. He has an interesting and weird quirk, but my favorite part of it is that it's like they say it's like a villain's quirk. Like they talk about that,
yeah.
Yeah.
and you see that like even like the weirdo dudes like off in the corner who you wouldn't expect, they want to be a hero too. Like he wants to be a hero. But he's like, dang, I was born with this quirk my whole life. Like
Mhm.
it's not a really heroic quirk, but I'm gonna try
And-
my best to be here. And that's the cool thing about the show is even like Bakugo is not like he's a jerk. He's a complete jerk, but he's not like a villain. Like he wants to be a hero too. And
Yeah.
obviously they're actual villains, but like
Bakugo's an ass wipe. Let's get
Uh-huh.
that clear.
yeah.
All right, let's.
Yo, but it's funny when he talks shit to like class 1B because class 1B is all salty
was
that they're not
funny
in
as
class
fuck.
1A.
That was funny.
He's like,
as-
yeah, I'm gonna beat all of you. Like,
He
that's,
doesn't.
That's good. That's really good.
There's
I wanna- wait,
the
wait,
guy
wait,
that
wait,
the
wait,
guy
wait,
that
wait,
copies
wait.
the guy that copies quirks pisses me off like a motherfucker. He is just like he is that like irritation under your nail that you can't get to, that he's just like he's there constantly. You just cannot get it under your nail. Like he's
Mm.
always under your skin. But
Dang.
he's written perfectly. He's got some great dialogue and
Mm.
you know he serves his
Okay.
purpose.
what about
But
what
wait,
about
I
my
wanted to
main
wait,
man?
wait.
Let Alex get some shine.
No, not
Fuck
not
off.
because Alex is moving on. I wanted to talk about something that we like. I find that fight between Midoriya and the guy who like forces you to answer a question cool as fuck.
Yes.
Because if you make fun of every God damn it. If you make fun of every
I'm not-
mispronunciation I make, we're gonna be here all fucking
I'm not
night.
making fun of your mispronunciation. I'm making fun of the show. I said ass. What are you talking about?
All right, whatever. Anyway, that fight is cool as fuck
Ass.
to me because it establishes the precedent that Midoriya can basically be possessed by the previous holders of One for All. Like it establishes that precedent that like their will is still within him, which is a very, very cool thing to me, and like something that they could work with in future seasons. Is like, like it's like that mechanic being there is like feels very important to me in like going forward. So like
Yeah.
that idea that then you can go from there and be like, okay, maybe their experience can bleed in him, like all that kind of stuff, and he can learn
Yeah.
from them in different ways, like whatever. So it's that fight is cool as fuck, where he literally gets possessed and flicks his fingers down and like shakes himself by destroying part of his body out of a trance. Like that fight was that. Maybe I'm in the vast minority, or the vast minority is an oxymoron. But anyway, maybe I'm in the minority, but that was like really cool to me the way that fight played out.
Yes,
And
I like the fight.
the fact
No,
that
it's fine.
the fact that his quirk, because like the guy he goes up against, I forget his fucking name, but the purple haired kid, the spiky purple haired kid, his quirk is very, very useful to me. I was gonna say like he's like Eraserhead, where like if he stays out of the media, you can trick villains very, very easily to play into your hands with that type of quirk. Like if people don't know what they're walking into, then you can fucking play them for a fool like immediately, like in the first 5 seconds of the fight. So the fact that he didn't make it into the hero course because the hero course combat test was against robots. So against robots, his quirk is fucking useless, but against people, his quirk is fucking insane, honestly. So it's like he's a very compelling character to me, and we'll see what happens with him, I guess. But it's honestly, yeah, I didn't want to gloss over that entirely because he seems like a very interesting quirk and a very interesting character.
I'm cool on him never showing his face again, but that's okay.
I
But I do like the fact that it shows traces of previous One for All predecessors.
Yeah, cool as
so
fuck.
It is cool. What were you gonna say, Alex?
Oh yeah,
I was gonna say, man, another mass appeal to this show is the super duper side characters. You know what I'm saying? You got people who really don't mean anything, but they're still fun to watch. Like my boy Tetsu. I know you see him.
Which one is that again? You got to remind me.
That's the all metal. That's the dude who has the similar power to
Gotcha. For Red Riot,
yeah. They're mad funny together. They're like,
no, they're super hilarious. And the fact that their fight had to end in a arm wrestle match was hilarious to me.
They literally lean into it so hard, where they're like they announce the matchup, and both of them are like, what the fuck? Like, how am I going up against the other hardening guy? Like, how is this the matchup? It's so good.
I'm not gonna let you talk about side characters and not mention the naval laser kid. I forget what his name is, but
it is
Aoyama.
Shit, I think Aoyama. That's what it is. I sent y'all a snap last night. I was crying, dude. Oh my god, that guy is so fucking funny. And I was talking to Rocio about that. And apparently he's not like that focused in like the community of MHA fans. I guess he just doesn't get his proper shine, but
he's trash.
God damn it, he is fucking funny, dude.
Definitely has his moments. He definitely has his moments.
There's no he has his moments. Every fucking time he's on screen, he's hilarious.
That's what I get. Okay. So I guess he has his moments is the wrong, phrase for that, or
every moment is his moment.
Every moment is his moment. So God fucking damn it, he is hilarious, man.
Pretty often when he shows up, it's pretty fucking funny. Yeah.
I'm with Trevor. Yeah, he just is a meme lord.
And he's a goddamn meme lord, man. Like,
meme lord, yeah.
Dude, he is like every bit of comedy that this show needed. Obviously, the show is still like off the cuff funny, but fuck, this is like Marvel humor turned up to 10. Like, he is so fucking great. When they were talking about I sent y'all the snap last night when they were talking about like final exam grades, and he's like 18th in the class out of 20.
Yeah.
And homie's like, hey, yo, you should probably cram right now because you're not doing that great. And he's like, why? Why should I cram? Like,
the animation is perfection. I mean, we can talk about that for years and years. The animation in this show is god tier.
And his fucking smile, bruh. Oh my god, I love him to death, man.
I feel like he's just
him
doing
and Ochako, I could watch all day.
Yeah, he's doing his thing.
Yeah, dude,
which is funny because they actually they pair up to phase 13 in their final exam, which is pretty cool. But.
Damn.
What about the other side character, Mei Hatsume, the engineering chick who literally plays my boy Ida for a loop and the whole she's just showing off her
and their fight turns into a fucking ad, which is hilarious. Like for her potential as a support hero, it turns into an ad. Like, yo, you support companies, watch me. Look at this jet.
Yeah,
and Ida's just like
I think turns into is like a weak term for that. Like it's exactly to plan. It's like she just showed up like I'm gonna use Tenya, Ida, not Lita. It is obviously deeply obvious that it is Ida, not Lita.
We got it. We understand.
Yeah, get freaked, boy.
We
I
understand.
never understand how you made that mistake.
Honestly, you know what? Sometimes
it's fine. We're moving on.
my brain
It's fine.
turns off.
Shout out to
But anyway,
Jose.
yeah. Shout out to Jose. And me, I
Shout
guess.
out to Crack 787.
Yeah.
But it's the fact of the matter being that that was hilarious where she's literally like pitching to the crowd as she like abuses Tenya with her fucking gadgets of like he has no chance of touching her and he's just like you villain or whatever he fucking says to her is like you played me and then she like finishes her pitch and then she's like okay and just steps out of bounds. It's like oh my freaking goodness.
Yeah.
I love her.
Freaking show knows how to do some comedy because it has a character solid that messes around and freaking has a fun time, man.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well,
I mean, the show definitely succeeds in. That's why it's high up in the top 10, being that it succeeds in being funny, as we just talked about, gorgeous animation, insane fight choreography, and then just like incredible characters and plot and everything. It just succeeds on every front. So
I think
love the show.
one thing I will say,
Mhm.
you can't talk about season 2 and not talk about the hero killer.
Facts. I don't know how we're not there yet.
Dang.
You know what's funny about that is that like his look pisses me off so much. Like his mouth. Oh my god, I couldn't get over it.
I think it's supposed
I could not get over it.
I could see that.
He's dope. He's
okay.
a dope dealer.
Do we want to get to him after the tournament, or do we want to talk about the tournament anymore?
Let's talk about the Uraraka versus Bakugo fight, and then the Midoriya versus Todoroki fight, and then let's go to Stain. I think.
I'll just say real quick, Uraraka versus Bakugo made me love Bakugo because he says, "Freaking, hey man, y'all ain't putting respect on freaking Uraraka's name. I'm about to freak out."
Big facts. I'm about to take her serious as fuck. Like y'all are telling me she's not a threat. I'm like she's coming in hot. Like I'm gonna take her as serious as I will anyone else. Like yeah, man. And the
funny part is that she takes the entire fight to set up the meteor, and he's just like, bitch,
one shot. But
yeet.
like the idea that like that made me gain a lot of respect both for Uraraka and the show in general, of where like okay, this is the protagonist's main love interest, this is who he's supposed to help, who he's supposed to like get along with, whatever, and she rejects his help outright. She's like, I'm gonna do this my fucking self. Like that made me gain so much respect for both her and the show. Was like, I mean, gain respect for a fictional character or whatever, but it's like the idea that you can write a character that way where you just completely deceive the expectations of like normal shonen, where it's like, okay, yeah, like everything goes according to the hero's plan or whatever, but Uraraka was just like, I'm doing this my fucking self because I'm a strong, independent woman who don't need no goddamn Midoriya, and so she just like,
I need Midoriya. Let's be honest.
I mean, I'm not a strong, independent woman who don't need no Midoriya. I definitely need some Midoriya in my life. I will say that. So he is. I can't wait to see everything else he does in his My Hero career. But yeah, I mean, it just
the
fact that
spoilers. He's not dead in season 4. Fuck.
Season 3. He actually died. He actually dies in season 3. Sorry.
God damn.
Freak me. Yeah, dude. Yeah. So he's like, I got this plan, and she's just like, I don't want your help. I want to do it myself. And I was like,
yeah,
God damn right, Uraraka, you're gonna. And then she's like so close to fucking up Bakugo, dude. Like she did her goddamn best, and she took a beating, and she absolutely like came as close as anyone could to beating Bakugo, honestly. So that was a dope fucking fight.
Dope character building fight. Bakugo was a freaking jerk and a half, but he respects freaking people putting in the work.
Yes, sir.
Being able to fight.
Yes, sir.
And then you get to the finale, freaking Midoriya versus Todoroki.
Bro, that is you want to talk about character building in any fucking show ever. The Midoriya versus Todoroki fight is it. It is the pinnacle of character building interactions. It is
because so he
absurd.
like the entire time he just completely rejects his left side, and he just he despises his father because childhood things. And for
childhood things is
someone
an outrageous understatement for why Todoroki hates his dad. That's an outrageous understatement.
But can we say one thing though?
Okay.
His mom literally dumped hot water on his face.
That's what I'm
saying,
though. Like,
his
it's
mom,
like Kosei and his mom all over again. I'm like, fuck
no, don't give me that. Todoroki's mom was.
No.
All right, I would love to hear you justify child abuse.
I'm not justifying it. I'm saying it's not the same as Kosei. I'm not justifying. I'm not saying his mom is any percentage in the right. I'm saying it's more like fucked up, and you have to lean into the context of the fact that his mom was like that was an arranged marriage. She never loved Endeavor. She was physically and mentally abused by him. Like the shit that she went through, and then she ended up abusing Todoroki. Like Shoto is if we want to be specific. Like that situation. That's fine. Also, the way that fucking Endeavor yells Shoto in Japanese is way better than English. We're back there again.
Don't hit on the English voice actor of Endeavor ever again.
So anyway, sorry.
Endeavor is an English
but
voice
like
actor.
the absolute insanity of the depth of the abuse in that family and how complex that is and how he overcomes it in such a phenomenal way is just nuts to me. Like psychologically. Speaking.
I'm still drawing the line at child abuse. I'm never going.
Obviously, I'm not forgiving Shoto's mom like at all.
I'm just
saying it's insane the circumstances.
Yeah, we're all drawing the line. It's very well written in terms of cycle of abuse. She absolutely got abused, and then she abuses the freaking kid. It's freaking crazy, dude. Todoroki is definitely one of my favorite characters, and that fight.
I think he's my singular favorite character in the show.
I could definitely see that. That fight goes dummy, freaking stupid dummy. Are you stupid or dumb? Or are you freaking dummy, bro?
The funny part is that I didn't even realize that you're watching the show and character design is a super big thing, especially in these flashy shonen animes. But massive. I never realized that he had that burn mark until they make that abundantly clear that Ayo, she threw that pot of boiling water on his face. So you just don't understand. You don't pick up these minute details until they're like abundantly clear in your face. Like for all we know, that was just like a birth defect, and then they make it clear.
That's an awfully hot coffee pot.
That's an awfully hot coffee pot. Like,
oh my fucking god. It was a teapot actually, but anyway.
Oh my freaking god!
Yeah, Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, dude, it was the subtleties are definitely there. That's what's insane about this as a shonen, as like an action shonen, is like the subtleties of the plot and the characters are all there all the time, and you don't realize until you pay attention or until it's explained. And the fact I didn't realize until I rewatched that he actually in the first fights, like when you first realize that Todoroki is OP as fuck, which is when they have the villain versus hero simulations like indoors. Which is another fucking insane fight, which is actually we skimmed over, which that's one of the dopest fights I think I've ever watched is Midoriya settling for blowing out the fucking ceiling against Bakugo, which is so fucking clean. But I guess grazing over that somehow, fucking Todoroki just shows up and freezes the entire goddamn building and is like, yeah, you never had a chance to begin with. But like in that sequence, he freezes his entire left side, right? Where you just see his white right side, and then his left side is frozen. You don't see his burns, you don't see anything. He's just like he freezes over his left side to like almost hide his identity. So like exactly what you're saying, Trevor, like they leave that until they explain it. Basically, is the character subtleties and the subtleties in the character design like mean a lot, no matter whether or not they explain it to you. When they explain it to you, you're like, holy fucking shit. Which is what is just a part, just like a fraction of how many different things make this show so good.
Yeah, and just the realization that, you know, just because you come from an abusive father doesn't mean you can't use what he gave you for good.
Oh man.
I can draw a lot of comparisons personally in terms of my father and I won't get too much in depth with my upbringing, but just being able to overcome, you know, childhood trauma and use it for your own good and not have to live in the shadow of someone that you totally despise it's very motivational. Like, and he doesn't do it very much. Like he only taps into that power maybe like twice, like the entire show, like that I've seen so far.
Yeah.
But when he does it, it's incredibly inspirational because Midoriya draws that out of people, and like he like in terms of people, like he draws that out of everyone. Like that's his almost like quirk, is that he just draws every bit of like great like quality in everyone around him. Like he's fantastic as a human being.
Midoriya's extreme level of effort, like, literally forces the people around him to bring their shit up. Is basically
and that's why he's so. That's why he's so greatly written, because he's not given this power. Like he's not he's not a Skywalker where he's just born as an incredible pilot. He's like he had to do what he had to make do what he had. Like he had no quirk for 15 years, and then he gets a hair out of All Might's fucking scalp, and he knew how to deal with people, and that's just one of the things that he's so great at.
His power is really just like hard work and perseverance and freaking
he basically forces Tenya to consider him as a rival. He does the same thing. I mean, Bakugo is like, you're always like the ant under my shoe or whatever, and then he like shows up as having this insanely strong quirk, regardless of whether or not he can control it. Same thing with Todoroki. Oh man, dude, the fucking animation of the end of the Todoroki versus Midoriya fight, where the fight, like, just the sound. Okay, so I'm saying sound. The music and the sound effects of the show are fucking perfect at all times. It's insane. It's just like when the rap pops off, when shit's going down, it's perfect. When every sequence of music is perfect for every sequence of events. Basically, it's just it's nuts. And so the sound effects, the animation, the end of that Midoriya versus Todoroki fight, when they're about to freaking kill each other, and Midnight is like trying to put them to sleep, and Cementos puts like 18 barriers between them, and he's catching fire with his left hand, and he just, oh man, it is gorgeous to watch and so inspiring. It is such a good goddamn sequence, and it's outrageous how people can create that kind of art. To me, honestly, it's like I can't believe that someone like wrote and designed and animated this to make me feel this strongly about a set of fictional characters. Like, it's so fucking nuts to me.
I think the track "You Say Run" is what it's called. The instrumental. That instrumental is so crazy when it just comes on. Just like the feeling of the of all like the orchestra going on is like,
shout out.
Damn. You know?
Damn.
Shout out, brother. Absolutely.
That makes any movement, any moment instantly emotional. Like,
who was in the freaking studio? Exactly, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
It's so perfectly designed, it almost hurts, dude. It's like, go ahead.
It's
David.
Like people criticize. I get, like, if you have criticism of the show, I just say, man, it's like, I get why it's freaking so huge. Like, I would remember freaking Midoriya just being like this, like, for the rest of my freaking life.
No, that's facts.
It's just ridiculous. Like,
that's fact. My first like impressions of the show was like, yo, when this came out, I can totally see people saying this is the next big anime. Like, not even knowing that season 2 and 3 were gonna be confirmed or anything. Just watching the first couple seasons the first couple episodes of season 1, it's like, holy shit! Like this is gonna be the next culture phenomenon, and it was. Like it's almost like this show was built and engineered to be the next big Naruto or like Naruto or like anime in general.
The big three, bro.
I'll say that the first few episodes were like almost dry for me comparatively. And then I think I fell in love. I think I fell. Yeah.
Word. How much it goes down?
I mean, yeah, it's like it's kind of standard though, right? Where like it's like okay, like you know, the protagonist.
Yo, does someone smell a shit opinion?
Conflict. Okay. Anyway.
Okay.
Anywho, the first few episodes, I fell in love with the show when Midoriya starts to get creative, right? When I think my first where I was like, okay, this could be the shit was the tests, the test that Aizawa gives them on their like first day or whatever, and he's like the bottom one gets expelled or whatever, and he throws the baseball using one finger, and he's like I can still fight, and I was like, all right, this is the shit. This could be good as fuck, because it's like you see him getting more intelligent and more creative and like being more and more determined, and you're just like, wow, like I want to root for this guy more than I want to root for my goddamn self in my actual life. Like I want Midoriya to succeed in this fictional universe more than I actually like whatever. So it's yeah.
So Midoriya throwing a baseball made you more hyped than him finding out his childhood hero is a scam?
Is a what?
Is a scam? Yeah.
It's not a scam, but
it was a build up. It was a build up is what I mean. So okay, so I guess I phrased that wrong. It wasn't dry. I said dry, which is kind of egregious, honestly. But it was like it wasn't inspiring yet. Is what I'll say.
Dang.
And
it's
so,
a scam. That's funny because
I mean that's true. That's kind of 1-to-1.
That's the best part of the show is that it just like it presents you with this idea that this guy is all powerful and then
all might.
This guy with no power meets him out of nowhere, and they both collide and say, "Hey, we have no power together because for one, you have no quirk, and for two, I have a fatal injury." And then they just kind of mesh together, and it's so perfect.
Definitely the initial hook for me was him. The initial hook of like keep watching. I mean, I was always gonna keep watching because I heard it was a great show. But the initial funny hook was like that All Might's like up and away, and Midori's just hanging onto his fucking leg. It's like just like flapping in the wind with his fucking cheeks like and like popping off. He's like, okay, I get this. This is definitely worth watching because shit's going down. But yeah, I mean, we're jumping all over the goddamn place. I mean, I am jumping all over the goddamn place, but
that is a great freaking point of freaking All Might though, because the show sets up freaking heroes almost sort of. It's obviously very fictionalized, but how like certain flaws, what would happen in the real world? There's a hero society, and then you get mother freaking Stain, boy.
Stain.
Yes, sir.
The hero killer.
Stain.
The hero killer Stain. It gets real as frick when your boy's brother gets stabbed. Man, he's in the hospital.
Your boy's brother being.
I felt a little bad about Ingenium getting murked like that, but
literally a whole line of like amazing freaking heroes, great freaking dudes, and then he just gets freaking injured, and then
paralyzed.
Yeah, what Stain as a freaking villain is just crazy, and his.
It's very cool. I love.
He's not even that crazy because he doesn't have like that many off the wall motivations. He's just like he's so over the fact that the hero market, quote unquote, is just so saturated and like anyone can become a hero with a quirk. So he's just like, I'm kind of sick of this.
That's what My Hero does perfectly. Is it creates this environment of the hero society, and that's the whole sociological perspective of it. Is like, what does the world look like with heroes in it? Is something they examine to a very, very high degree, continuously. And so Stain does this whole thing where he's like, It's I'm about to fuck y'all up. So you know how there's no such thing as true altruism?
Okay.
So
No, bro.
anyway, that's adjacent but not directly to Stain's philosophy, I'll call it, of the idea of a hero isn't a hero if they accept reward for the rescuing they do. And Trevor scratching his neck like Shigaraki right now.
Dang.
Father, Oto-san.
Bruh.
I mean,
but yeah, no. I love a villain with a very clear, concise motivation, with a kind of like fuck you for this reason, but also like I respect like the good side TM for this reason. Like that's that very clear, concise type of motivation, but also like the villain kind of being badass is cool. So that fight with them in the alley, with I think it's Tenya, Midoriya, and Todoroki, right?
Yeah.
That man, it's clean.
Mhm.
I'll stop there.
I think
Yeah.
what's
Man, it's clean.
crazy is
Mhm.
Stain's quirk. Growing up in a hero world, you could say he has a quirk that could be viewed as immoral in a way. I mean, you taste someone's blood and now you can paralyze them.
Dang.
I could see how that would be like a rejected quirk in the hero world. So then he grows up with that. He didn't ask for that quirk, it was given to him.
Would you say that
So
Aizawa's quirk is immoral?
No,
Because
Aizawa?
it's sort of the same, like in
Matter
terms
of
of its functionality.
I guess, but you don't have to like
You don't have to taste their blood for it to happen,
And
yeah,
that's where-
but
yeah.
for
I
sure.
mean-
But
I mean, technically, Aizawa could be an insane villain.
Yeah,
Like,
but
he could rob banks and then just erase the quirks of the people who
Mhm.
came to delete him. Like he could
But-
do that. Go ahead.
what
sorry.
Alex is saying, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, growing up with that, and then just like you said, the oversaturated market, it's just kind of crazy the philosophy that he kind of sparks.
Mhm.
And one thing that me and Stain do have in common,
Oh no.
he's an All Might fanboy.
That's true. That's a fact. That's actually okay.
Fact.
All right. I
he
guess
wants
we all
to die
dude.
by Mr.
Yeah, All
Toshinori?
Might is worthy.
What's his
The-
name? I can't
That's
remember.
freaking.
Toshinori.
Toshinori.
Yeah.
First of all, that's a great point because I never even considered his quirk. Like we talked about the dude who has mind control real quick. He has a villainous quirk, but he wants to be a hero. Stain is like,
Yeah.
you got a villainous quirk. I might just turn out to be a villain, man. If you paint me as that. That's a great point, Alex. And freaking,
Yeah.
I just love everything about that character because he points a he's not a threat too much physically in terms of like he gets beaten in that alleyway, but ideologically and his like motivation and his philosophy just is totally, it kind of makes sense in terms of hero society. And
It's funny that you say that he's not too much of a threat because he takes them on like three on one, like, and those are like the top of the class. Like,
don't get me wrong. Yeah, don't get me wrong. He's definitely like a dope fighter, but like he doesn't require All Might to like beat him or something like that. Just like, but his philosophy is maybe even more dangerous than his physical abilities.
For sure. And that's what the show like stresses. Like even when he gets detained, like he like migrates so many people to his ideology that he's dangerous, and that's why they have to put him away.
Yeah.
Because he could almost be a political leader at that point where he's just dictating people to act upon his own ideology.
Or he could be a leader of an uprising against the hero infrastructure of the new world.
And that part where that whole fight is cool, but that part where I think it was it Ida and Midoriya where Midoriya smashes him and Ida also hits him
double
with the
kick. Midoriya punches
Why you
him
stepping on me though?
Let Trevor get his stuff off. You heard?
I was. You said is it, and I was telling you exactly what it is. Is that wrong?
But I was talking though.
Okay, so let me say Midoriya punches him in the face, and Ida.
Oh, you take the point, yeah.
Ida kicks him in the chest. So that's exactly what it is. So what were you saying?
And that was dope. That's all I was gonna say. Cool.
That is dope as frick.
You
I
said,
agree.
I'm
I agree.
sorry, but you said, "Is it?" Like if you had led into it
I
as a
wasn't-
statement rather than the question,
But I
then
wasn't
wouldn't have cut
asking
you
for
off.
like an answer though. I was like,
It was
I was just rolling
rhetorical.
with the point.
It was
Alright,
rhetorical.
it's all
I
good.
see you.
My
I
bad.
see you.
Anyway, yeah. So anyway,
Great, yeah.
the moment in which it's a pretty freeze frame kind of moment when Midoriya, I actually watched it in dub and I don't remember exactly how it goes in sub, but in dub they say, Lita's like, "I'll use my leg," and Midoriya is like, "I'll use my arm.
Use my fist, yeah.
I'll use my arm." And so Midoriya punches him in the face, and Ida body kicks him, and then they knock him out, and then that's that. But yeah, so that's
Pretty dope.
Hero Killer Stain for you. But it's a dope knockout. Yeah, it's absolutely an insane fight.
Mm-hmm.
In terms
And
of everyone,
They don't
performing
actually
to
knock
their
him out in
maximum
that too,
ability.
which is the funny part.
Well,
Oh,
they
yeah.
semi TKO, if you will.
No, like he's still totally functional, and it takes All Might to scare the shit out of him, and then he like gets his lung pierced by his rib, which pissed me off because that fucking Midoriya smash and Ida kick should have absolutely put him out of commission. But then it's just like, I want to die by All Might's hand, and then he just gets like completely shit on by his rib.
Isn't that like they broke his rib? So that's what led to his downfall, right?
That's fine, but I wanted it to happen right there. That shit was so hype. And then it was just like, yo, Todoroki had his like whole face and just like flamed his ass, and he was just like completely fine. I was like, there's a couple parts in the show where I had to completely suspend my reality in order to believe it, because it's like,
yeah,
they're not invincible, you know.
Yeah.
So
It happens, yeah.
For him to take that just complete flamethrower, like
fire powers
happens.
are always interesting because it's like, yeah, for your disbelief to be suspended, it's like you have to believe they're not just burning to death instantly. Like,
completely.
yeah. I feel you on that.
Yeah.
So other than that, though, yeah, dope. I think it sets it up perfectly for the next stuff. But yeah, guys. So freaking welcome back. Just talking about how Stain perfectly set up the next episodes. I think it's about time for us to wrap up and sort of give our ratings and thoughts on seasons 1 and 2. You'll see us coming back for season 3 and then season 4. Let's go! I love talking about this show. It's a fantastic show.
It is. We could be here all night talking about the minute details. There's far too much to cover. So apologies if we don't cover your favorite show or your favorite Lamau. If we don't cover your favorite fight moment or dialogue exchange, it's just there's far too much to it.
And we can talk about it in the comments if you want. Yeah, for
absolutely.
Sure.
Definitely do
that.
that.
Absolutely do it.
Yeah.
So, we literally just freestyle these episodes. So
yeah.
Can't really crucify us too much, but.
Yeah, I want to give like my anime list separate ratings for the season and sort of wrap it up in that way. Or
that's
just
tough,
the show
man.
so far.
That is very tough.
It's not tough. 10 destroyed smashes.
Okay. Repeat that. Repeat that, Alex. I think oh my goodness. Repeat that.
New Hampshire smashes out of 10.
I am here. Let's freaking go.
Watashi ga kita. Yeah, dude.
New Hampshire smash killed me, man.
I think
New Hampshire smash.
I think I'll give. Oh fuck, that's tough. Cause I love that show to fucking death, but I can't spoil. I'll give season 1 and 8. And season 2 and 9.
Okay, I can piggyback back off of that. Season 1 and 8, season 2 and 9 is the same. I would give it. I think.
Dope.
We can do favorite characters too, but that might take too long.
I already gave mine. My favorite's Todoroki, I think, just because of all he's been through, his motivations, everything he stands for and is, and his powers are fucking insane. Like if we're doing a whose power do you most want to have, I think half hot, half cold. Like the absolute insanity of his power is definitely something I would. All Might is in your lap. You would rather have All Might, Alex. We'll see from you once we turn that over. But yeah, dude. Half hot, half cold seems so fucking cool to have. That seems so nuts.
He's so incredibly overpowered that I don't want his power. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like there's certain heroes in this show that just completely outclass everyone else. which is a goddamn shame. Because some of the like, we didn't really talk about too many of the quirks, but some of them are really outrageous, and some of them are very situational, but they're really funny and they're very creative. Like, you've got a chick that has headphones that come out of her fucking ear, and you've got another chick that's like, she's a frog. And you've got the pervert of the show that like throws fucking grapes that stick to things. So like, the show is very incredibly creative with its powers. I will say that much.
Yeah.
In terms of my favorite characters, though, Ochako is absolute. Like, she's a complete joy to watch. Like, front to back, every fucking minute of her existence is an A in my book. Her and Ayoma, that's his name, right?
Ayoma.
Yeah. Those two, man, I could watch all fucking day of the week, man. I love them. I love them so much.
The naval laser homie.
Yeah. Naval laser. And obviously I love Deku. Deku's a great protagonist. He's so inspirational.
He is. Oh, I forgot to say, it's Deku is, I said this earlier, but Deku is like, he's so close to Tanjiro, dude. He's so close in my top protagonists. He's
close, but he doesn't hit Tanjiro's status for me in terms of complete wholesomeness.
Exactly.
I don't think he hits it yet. But
I would have
that's
to
not
agree
to
with
take
that.
away from it, because everyone can't beat Tanjiro, so that's fine.
That's facts.
Dang.
I think he does exactly what he needs to do, and he's not overpowered. He earns what he has. That's the make or break for me, is that he earns what he has. He's not given it like from birth. So
I think I like Deku better than Tanjiro, but that's
dope. I will not hate you for that at all.
It's a fair take.
I can't, because they're both so wholesome.
Yeah.
In their own separate ways. Like, they both have completely different struggles. Like, one lost their entire family and one just didn't have a quirk, so it's kind of tough to
like he's good and he's not.
Dude, my man. Come on now.
It's not even. I'm really not trying to, but like,
I know. Yeah.
It's just how
without context, those sound like so deeply unequal circumstances. It's fucking nuts.
I feel you on that.
They both work to where they're going though. So.
They both, obviously they both have their own struggles and everything, and they deal with it in their own ways, and they're very similar in the sort of like, don't give up, always do your best kind of mentality. I think the
shonen.
I think
the shonen.
Yeah, exactly.
Methodology.
It's exactly the one thing that Deku is unfortunate for is his crybaby mentality, sort of, is like his intentionality to like be overly emotional about stuff in certain ways, and it's actually pretty comical sometimes, where I think after the cavalry battle, he thinks he's lost, and I think it's Tokuyami, is that the name of the Dark Shadow guy?
Yeah.
Tokuyami shows up with the Laz headband, and he spouts tears from his eyes so hard that he dents himself into the ground, which is so goddamn funny to me. Which is like,
my man,
the crybaby tendency is like a meme, but they use it to a pretty strong way. But I just love Tanjiro to death.
I'm not calling Deku a crybaby ever.
No.
I think I'll live 90. I'll live 90 years and I'll never call Deku a crybaby.
That's why I said tendency. I didn't call him a crybaby.
I'm not
outright.
calling it. Not even in any capacity.
I'm saying he's a tendency towards it, not that he's outright, all in all, a crybaby, because he's definitely fucking not. Because you watch the show.
Him and Tanjiro are sensitive freaking kings, and we respect both of them.
Absolutely, David. Well put, sir.
It's freaking. What you might have a rating so far, Trevor? Like a number rating you would give for each one or something?
It's tough, because when I was watching season 2, I was like, especially with the tournament arc, I was incredibly overwhelmed, but it kind of toned down as the second half of season 2 went on, so it kind of degraded my rating. I think I'll give both seasons like a solid 8.5. I think that's what I'm feeling. But man, like this show is still that's not to degrade like how special this show is. Like I'm absolutely looking forward to season 3 and 4.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
no, I don't know. It was tough because I don't know what happened, but it just kind of slowed down for me.
Okay.
The second half of it, but I'm absolutely looking forward to the future seasons. So
Okay. Nice. Alex, the freaking man. You know.
All Might is my favorite character.
Same.
Hold up that
But
your
I think one of
pop
my
again.
favorite students is Tenya Ida, man.
Okay.
yeah, I
okay.
fucks with that.
Yeah.
I love myself some Ida. Yeah.
He's all about his fellow students. You know what I'm saying? And he's a
Responsibility.
dope dealer with his engines. I don't know how
Dude,
he keeps those clean.
Yo, whenever he can optimize that shit and he can just start like spin kicking dudes, like, bro, that's when I'm gonna live for real.
Dude, the fucking the Ida moment when he first reveals the Recipro burst when he steals the headband from fucking Midoriya. I was rooting for the side characters more than I was the protagonist, dude. I was like, man, he is dope as fuck. Like that was cool as shit. I was so hyped for Tanya at that moment.
Yeah.
Not
So
to
cool.
step on you, Alex.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm hyped for season 3. I'm hyped for season 4. I hope you all are hyped.
Yeah.
And I'm hyped for season 5.
Oh yeah.
That's big facts.
March. Very close.
Yeah.
Insane.
I wouldn't hold your breath, but
Did you give it
how did you say?
Did you give it a number rating?
I don't know. 9 United States of Smash.
For both?
There you go.
Probably, yeah. That's what I
Alright.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that.
Nice. Okay.
David, did you give it a rating?
Yeah, I gave the first one an 8, second one a 9, same as Cameron.
Same as me.
And with that, this will be a little mini series covering, Big Boy MHA, fantastic, poppin' shonen at the top of its game. And we hope y'all like this one. Join us for the next one. Talk about your favorite MHA characters and moments. And we really appreciate y'all.
Drop any moments down that we missed in the comments. Just
Sure.
please, by all means, just fire off in the comments. We'll do our best to reply to any of them. Any critiques you have of this episode in general, maybe like future formatting. Maybe you want us to cover more seasons in one episode. Maybe you want us to cover less seasons in one episode so we can go more in depth. It's really up to you guys. So
yeah. And I think to be clear, the next anime box episode we do will be season 3, and then after that will be season 4.
Yep.
We're not going to do 2 seasons like this one.
Yeah.
We only combined this one because the first season was 13 episodes, so we can't really make a whole lot out of the setup of season 1. So
yeah, I think it's a good way. I think happy with this format and real.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I thank you all for listening. I'm so hyped we're talking about this show. I'm a big My Hero fan, unlike some of us.
Oh
no.
Hey man, if you want to fight, just tell me. Say it directly.
I will Manhattan smash your ass.
You mean not Long Island?
He's gonna
smash?
Staten Island. He's gonna Staten
Island smash. There it is.
You get a
Staten Island smash. Chile smash your ass.
Chile smash. Let's go.
Chile smash you.
Okay.
Yep. All right. I love you all, man. I'm happy.
You already know.
Does all include me, Alex? Am I including the all? Do you love me too?
You're all for Alex is what
all
I'm
for Alex,
saying.
yeah.
All right. I love you too, bro. And I will say, if you want to find us on our socials or on our Reddit, we are r/Unboxing Life Podcast. We are at Unboxing Life Pod on Twitter and Instagram. However you want to find all of us, including myself, not a real My Hero Academia fan. Just show up. We love to hear from you guys. Whatever you want to say, whatever critiques, criticisms, support, anything you want to contribute to the show, we love. So definitely show up, and I will say until next time, adios, everyone.
Hey yo, and I'm always the last to talk because I have peace out, baby. But I did want to say that this show was a joy to watch. So far, I watched like 6 episodes a couple nights ago, like twice. I had to because I was like maybe 16 episodes away from finishing the show. So I had to do some grinding, and not 1 minute did I think, "Yo, I have to watch another episode." Like, fuck. They're like, no, this was a turn of events. This was a great show to watch, and I'm so thankful that this show came out while I was alive, and that I'm watching it currently because it's fantastic, man. That's all I can say. Until next time, go beyond plus ultra. Follow your dreams. Don't let your dreams be memes. Fucking love you guys all, man. Peace out, baby.